Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to be doing a team building guide for the AGO Dokkan Fest Gogeta's Eza event. Now this is coming out really soon, so I want to do a video going over what I think the best options you can put on a team and run it in this guy's event. Now, the weakness is movie bosses, so I do think that the teams you can build are going to be, well, I guess you can only run one team, but the units you can put on the team are going to be extremely good because this category has been buffed for a while. I mean, we had the worldwide download celebration, we have the Broly EZA, which of course just came out, and then we've just had a couple EZAs along the just kind of past couple months that of course have buffed this category. Now, I will say this, if you're a JP player, because of course this EZA is simultaneously on Global and JP players kind of have a massive advantage because they have the Int Bojack EZA, which is, I mean he's not like an amazing unit. Like, he's good for sure, but he's not in like the top 10 units or anything like that. But still, he's a really good EZA, and he's going to be able to perform really well in this event if you do have him on JP. And then the Golden Frieza, who you already know, he is kind of a top 10 unit. He's crazy. So JP players, if you have these two guys, I think you probably should run them on the team because they are going to be crazy. But I mean, yeah, we're just going to be looking at the best options for his team. Of course, the damage reduction is against STR, which I don't think is that big of an issue because it is the type disadvantage. So you're not really going to be running many STR units anyway. And then you don't want to run super class units, which, I mean, that's really not that big of a deal either. Because other than a couple Beeruses and a Tapion, there's not many super class units on movie bosses anyway. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, getting right into it, I know I just said the damage reduction is against STR, and then we get right into an STR unit. We have the Final Form Cooler. So this guy's not really going to be doing that much damage in the event, but his leader skill is extremely useful as he does give the 170% to movie bosses, of course, which is, I mean, that's the main category, right? So you're going to want to run that. And then the extra 30% is to transformation boost. Now, most of the units you're going to be running on the movie bosses category are also on transformation boost. So I do think that that extra 30% is extremely useful. And if you run this guy as a leader skill, you might not be doing that much damage with him, but still, defensively, this guy's going to be great. Even type disadvantage, he'll be fine. And, you know, especially if you get lucky with the additionals, this guy could get some crazy levels of defense. But his leader skill is just so useful that, I mean, it might be worth just going out of your way to put this guy on the team, even though he's going to be doing no damage, just so he can give everyone else more stats so they can do more damage. But I mean, that's pretty much it with the cooler. Moving on to the next lead, we have the AGL EZA Turles. Now, I mean, this is kind of obvious, but you do want to make sure you have this guy EZA'd for him to be a good leader. Now, he isn't, unfortunately, a 200% leader skill, but he is still a full 170% lead, which, of course, is still viable. You can run 170% leads in today's meta. And, I mean, he's a really good unit overall. He's giving 3 key and 40% attack and defense support to everyone on the team, which is crazy because you are facing a super class enemy. So, of course, the extra 40% defense is going to be active in his passive. And, I mean, it's just going to make everyone look a lot better. It's going to make himself look a lot better. And this guy is just a good unit overall as well. I mean, for sure, he's been out, or his EZA has been out for a bit now. So he's aged just a little bit, but he's still really good. He's got the stun chance, which, I mean, you can't really use this in EZAs, I guess, but maybe in the first 10 or 15 stages, you can make some use out of that. And just overall, he's a really good unit. I mean, even when he transforms, he's really good as well. You know, he's recovering HP. He is still stacking, and he is still supporting with Ki. So, I mean, a pretty good unit overall. And he does have big bad bosses, so he'll work good with a lot of other big bad bosses units on the team. So yeah, just a really good addition overall. Even if you're not running him as the lead, I do still think you're going to want to bring this guy on the team just because his support and all that. But yeah, so moving on to the next leader skill, or the next lead unit, we have the Int Super Saiyan Dokkan Fest Broly. Now, this guy has aged kind of a lot, actually. He's been out for, what, almost 2 years now? So this guy is kind of old, and he's still really good, though, right? I mean, he's stacking, he has damage reduction, he has crit chance and additionals built in. Do keep in mind, he's only going to have 18% damage reduction because this guy is, he requires a Pure Sans or Hybrid Sans enemy to get the other 18% damage reduction. And for some odd reason, Gogeta is not on Pure Sands, so this guy is only going to have 18% damage reduction, but still, between his active skill, between everything he's doing, he's going to link well with a lot of other Brolys, and I think he's just going to be a really good unit to bring on the team overall. But if you have to run him as a leader skill, you might run into some issues because he's only giving HP 130%. However, depending on what units you bring on the team, I don't think this is going to be that big of a deal, because as long as you bring some LRs on the team, they obviously have the higher HP stats, so then your HP will be at a good number anyway. So moving on to the physical Broly. Now, I get a lot of you guys probably aren't going to have him easy aid for the Gogeta event, because of course he is releasing alongside the Gogeta, but maybe if you just do the Broly event first and then do the Gogeta Easy A, I think this guy is, he's going to be kind of a bad lead before his Easy A, but you can still do it. Similar to the previous Dokkan Fest Broly we were talking about, this guy is not a full 170% lead. He only gives that 170 to attack, and then the HP and defense is 150. But pre-Easy A, this guy still might be kind of good for you. Yeah, I don't know how great he'll be in terms of like tanking like double digits from super attacks and all that, but he still will probably be able to get the job done. But of course, if you go ahead and Easy A him first, it'll make all of this so much easier, because regardless of what you've heard, this guy is still a really crazy Easy A, and he'll provide a ton of use for this Easy A event, right? So, I mean, yeah, Broly, really good addition. Even if you're not running him as the lead, you still might want to run him on the team if he's Easy Aid. And, I mean, yeah, getting into the next unit, we have the physical Janemba. So, I know earlier I was talking about how a 170% lead is barely viable, and then now I'm getting into units with 150% lead, which is, you know, it's kind of a last resort. I don't think you want to go out of your way to use this guy as a lead, but if he's your only option, then, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. And he's not a bad lead. He does still give 4 ki, which is extremely useful because it makes it to where everyone on the team is just going to be working together better, because maybe you might struggle with ki for some units because, I mean, you do want to make sure you bring a lot of tech units. So maybe if you bring like the tech Broly with, I don't know, the tech free-to-play cooler, obviously they don't really link that well together. So if you if you have a lead that gives 4 ki to everyone, it just makes it to where everyone has an easier time getting their super attacks and all that. So in terms of his leader skill, he's not the best, but he can still work. However, in terms of this guy's kit, like his performance, he's going to be great. He has the guard, he builds up, he gives himself a ton of ki, and he has the chance to nullify. He nullifies the Ki Blast super attacks, which, I mean, I do think the Gogeta does a Ki Blast super attack. I could be mistaken, but I think his SSR does. Yeah, I don't know. I might be wrong there, but he does still have it, just in case. And then, of course, he has the active skill, or the Rage, which I guess you're not really going to get the Rage active too much, but it is still there. So, of course, it's just a nice option to have. And, of course, he's got good links like Big Bad Bosses, Shocking Speed, Metamorphosis. So he works good with a bunch of coolers and just other Big Bad Bosses units. So, I mean, yeah, Janemba is for sure a pretty good option to run as a lead. And now we have the physical Broly Chi-Line Lemo. Now, this guy you're only going to want to run as a lead if you have to. Similar to the Janemba, this guy is not even a 170% lead. So he's going to be a little bit rough in terms of running him as a lead, because it's only 130%, which is even worse than 150. So yeah, you might only want to run this guy as a leader skill if it's like your last option. But I mean, in terms of his kit and his performance, he'll be all right. I mean, he is supporting. He's got the thing in his kit to where he can just evade all enemies' attacks with 7 or more Ki Spheres. So he for sure can be kind of useful. But I don't really know if you're really gonna want to run him as a lead. I think there are many other options that are way better than this guy. But I mean, he is still here, of course, right? So now we're going to get into, well, actually, before we do that, I do want to talk about this. So you can actually run the free-to-play Metal Cooler Squad as well. They are all on movie bosses, and they're not really going to be doing a ton of damage necessarily, but they're all really good in their own way. So I do still think that running them as a team in this Easy A event is possible, for sure. So, I mean, someone like Jay Fanta, that's probably the team they're going to use to beat this event, just because, I mean, it's a good team. Obviously, they released during the Worldwide Download Celebration, and, I mean, I guess maybe as a lead, you could use, like, well, I mean, you could use the AGL Easy A Metal Cooler if you have him, and if you don't have him, of course, you could run the the STR 5th form cooler, but I mean, if you don't have the Easy A cooler, you probably don't have him, so. Yeah, there's a lot of options you can do as a leader skill. I'm just trying to say that you can run the free-to-play Easy A Metal Cooler squad. But moving on to additions on the team, I do think that there are a lot of good units on this category. The Golden Frieza, as I was saying earlier, is someone you could bring on here that will just dominate. He'll be crazy. The Tech Broly is another unit that I think will be really good. Now, of course, this guy has aged a lot. I mean, for sure, since his initial release, he has, I mean, you know, power creep has just hit him hard, right? As it does with every unit. But this guy still has type advantage, and of course, he still hits kind of hard. So I think this guy will still be an extremely good addition to the team. I mean, he's going to be tanking well, because like I said, he has type advantage, and he's just going to be really good. He will have the medium chance of doing the additional, because you are only facing one enemy as well. So you could get a bunch of additionals in there, and, you know, you can get the active skill as well, which, I mean, if you get this off, that will hit extremely hard. And then, of course, he's got good links that make him work well with other Brolys, so the Tech Broly is for sure a good option. And then there is the Physical Metal Cooler as well, who a lot of you might have because he was, obviously, the Worldwide Download Celebration LR, or the Carnival LR, so a lot of you guys probably did manage to pull him. And, I mean, between his healing, between his active skill, between his revive, between his nullification, just between everything, this guy is crazy, so I do think that he will be a very good option. I mean, you might even be able to run a Wicked Bloodline team in here because, of course, you've got the free-to-play metal coolers. You've got a lot of other just coolers on here in general, so I do think that he might even work as a leader skill, but, of course, that's only if you don't have some of the main leads like the Turles, the Cooler, the Brolys, and all that, so. Yeah, and then, of course, there's a lot of other T-Wars you can use, like the Tech Janimba is good. I did a showcase on him recently, and he's still, I mean, he's still pretty good, right? He can still for sure. He can tank a lot of hits, and he can for sure put up some good attack stats. But I don't know if he's going to be, like, the best offensively in here. But then, yeah, there's the Easy A, not Super Saiyan. There's the Easy A First Form Frieza, and then you've got the Sub Easy A Cooler, who released during the Worldwide Download Celebration. You could run the Tech Golden Frieza, the Easy A one. You could run him in there. He'll probably take no damage with his damage reduction and type advantage. There's the free-to-play 4th Form Cooler. And then, I mean, yeah, just a lot of other options. So that is pretty much it for the video. This category isn't really humongous, at least compared to the other Easy A event, which the weakness is movie heroes, which we will do a video going over that pretty soon. If you need help with that, I will do a video pretty much right after this video releases on that. So, I mean, yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that. But that has been the video. Let me know what you guys think of this Easy A event. Let me know if you think you're going to have any difficulties with it. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.